I'm with Aaron Greenberg. We are talking about the Xbox One X. It is the brand new Xbox machine that's coming out November 7th. Very
yes.
good. You had a big presser, you revealed this to the world. You've been saying for more than a year now, this is going to be the most powerful video game console ever made. And it is that. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Thank you. It feels great. I mean, I was here when Electric Playground was here 16 years ago. And these crazy guys at Microsoft said we wanted to go make a console that was more powerful than anything else.
Yeah.
And that was our slogan when we launched the original Xbox. There's no power greater than X. And so that inspired us to come back and build the world's most powerful console, the Xbox One X. And so it's great. It's exciting to be able to show the name, show what it looks like, and not only is it the most powerful, it's actually also the smallest console we've ever built.
Yeah, how the hell is that even possible? Because you guys are known for making like radiator-sized massive monsters, and we expected this thing to be just enormous. I mean, it just, like, even the Project Scorpio thing is like, oh my, this thing is going to be a dragon of some kind, it's going to be huge, and then it's like, here you go. It's like mini version of the S.
Yeah, from the company that brought you Duke controller. Well, we've refined our size aspirations. I think we've learned. I mean, to be honest, we've got a liquid cooling vapor chamber built in.
Yeah.
Usually, those are seen in really high-end PCs. So there's a lot of really smart engineers at Microsoft on the hardware side, in particular, that get all the credit for that.
Yep.
They aspired in the what if we could actually make it smaller than the Xbox One S,
Yep.
and they did, and they didn't have to compromise on power. By the way, the power supply, power brick is built in as well, so there's no external power brick. So even though it's smaller, we kept that inside as well.
Okay, that's awesome. Now you have a great machine in the S. I've been happily playing on that. Very impressed. I have one of those slick looking white ones. It looks like something from Star Wars. It's a very cool looking machine. Why would anybody want the X over the S?
Well, you're going to get a lot more power. So you're right. The S is an incredible amount of value. We have this incredible games lineup. Obviously, all the benefits of backward compatibility. But with the X, it's really the year of 4K. A lot of people are getting 4K TV sets, and there isn't a lot of entertainment out there to showcase that.
Yeah.
For gamers, we're going to bring true 4K gaming. We're going to bring, really, it's the largest games lineup we've ever had. We showcase 42 titles, 22 of those games with some level of exclusivity.
Yeah.
So to be able to see things like Forza Motorsport 7 in true native 4K, 60 frames per second, all the weather effects, all that, it's going to simply be stunning and probably one of the most amazing things you'll see on your 4K TV.
It does look beautiful. I have to admit though, there are lots of 1080p games that are out here on screens and stuff, and they also look great. It's a little difficult to make the distinction just looking at all these things as you're flashing by. How do you kind of make that an even sharper message as people are kind of getting to learn about 4K?
Well, the nice thing about the power is it brings a lot of benefits. So you get faster load times, you get better draw distances, you'll get frame rates holding more steady.
Yep.
The other thing is that you don't need a 4K TV to get the benefits of an Xbox One X. So if a game is built in true 4K, we'll super sample it for you if you have an HD TV.
Right.
So in fact, the fact that we're building games in 4K will benefit people without 4K TVs. It's just one of the great benefits of things like super sampling. So it's great. No, if people have an Xbox One S, they have an Xbox X, they're going to be able to enjoy the same game library. We're going to have one game disc across it all. If you want to upgrade at some point, that same game will just get upgraded to the true 4K version of it.
I love that, and I love your backwards compatibility. I'm one of those guys yelling in the background, yes, I get to play Crimson Skies and all of that. I think that's fantastic. I know the marketing and the commercials are ramping up. Are you guys going to do stuff where this is Forza 7 running on Xbox One S? This is what it looks like on Xbox One X. Is that sort of in the plan?
Yeah, I don't think we'll do a lot of comparisons against ourselves, probably. At least as a marketer, I'm not thinking that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
What we want to get people to do is excited about the game, the features, the characters.
Right.
And for people that want that premium, high-end, until today, you've largely had to spend some people are spending thousands of dollars on really high-end systems to get that.
Right.
And now we're going to be able to deliver that to you at a really great value, starting at $499. So I think that's really the opportunity in the console space. But if you're people that doesn't, I don't need the premium high-end. I just want a great gaming system that has 4K UHD Blu-ray built in, upscales my games even to 4K. The Xbox One S will continue to be, we think, the best value in gaming as well.
When you look at the library, and you guys had a good presentation with lots of games on display, there weren't that many Xbox One Microsoft paid for exclusives that you guys are like AAA, that will show off everything. Is that because everything is ramping quickly, and next year is when you guys sort of unveil a lot more of, you know, the Halos and the Gears and the surprises? Or what's happening with your first-party AAA?
Sure. Well, we definitely brought the largest games lineup we've ever had.
Yeah.
And what we did is we said deliberately, let's show you games, and especially our first-party exclusives, that you'll be able to play over the next year.
Right.
And so things like Forza Motorsport 7, Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay 2, Super Lucky's Tales, all exclusive titles that will be launching between now and next E3.
Right.
So that was a deliberate focus. That allows teams like Halo and the Gears team up at Coalition in Vancouver to be able to go away, and they're doing great work. I can tell you, in fact, I was just up at Coalition with Phil a couple weeks ago, and the future of Gears, the future of Halo franchise is very bright, but it's nice to not require every team to show up every year. Let them go work, and we'll come and surprise fans when we're ready.
Okay, and what about, I mean, this is the thing, this is that emotional hook for me, right? We see Crimson Skies up on stage again, because I remember the Xbox 360 time that it was up on stage again, right? It's one of my favorite games when I look back into, but where's a new Crimson Skies? When do we hear from, I mean, you were there when Microsoft was charging hard and building all kinds of new IP and bringing out brand new brands and things. Is that coming again? Are we getting that again?
Well, one thing you should know is that we do listen a lot to our fans. I mean, the whole reason why we're going back now to allow even original Xbox games to play is that's what fans asked for.
Yeah.
You know, we have nearly 400 back compat games to 360 today,
right.
But to reach back, Crimson Skies was the most requested game.
Yeah.
That's why we showed that. And I think there's a lot of great franchises there. I mean, you and I, Victor, we grew up playing these games, but there's a whole new generation of Xbox owners that don't even know these things exist.
Totally, yeah.
And so we also talked about Fusion Frenzy as another title coming. There's a huge library of those. And so I'd just say, listen, fans may find that there's franchises they love, and we may see a lot of great, you know, enthusiasm for those franchises, and you never know what can happen. We may see a franchise get love or reboot or another sequel to something that wasn't on the radar that comes out of this, and as a gamer, I think that's an awesome opportunity.
Tell me if you guys had a discussion here, because we're a few years into the lifespan of the Xbox One. Xbox One X could have been, from my vantage point, Xbox 2, or the sequel.
Sure.
Did you guys have that discussion? Was that something where you said, well, is it time to throw in the next generation of Xbox that would be backwards compatible? Or is it still part of the one family and then we get a sequel to this in a few, like, how did you guys come up with that this was going to stay part of Xbox One?
Yeah, we gave that a lot of deliberate thought. I mean, I think the way it used to work was you lost all your compatibility with your games, you lost all your compatibility with your peripherals.
Right.
While we went through that as gamers, it was an ideal scenario, we toughed through it, right?
Well, and this is one of the most endearing things about what you guys are doing and what Nintendo was doing up until the Switch, but this is a disposable medium, and I don't like that about it. There's so much to learn from the past, you know?
And we, for your music, your books, like all other forms of entertainment, we're all building digital libraries of this, and we want to, just like when I upgrade and get a new cell phone, my apps and all my stuff are there. And so that was the idea, was to add a member to the family, be able to get all the benefits of a new premium high-end console, bring in things like 4K, but you get all your game collection with you.
Yeah.
And not only that, I mean, I think the fact that we're now saying you can play 3 generations of Xbox games on one box.
Wonderful.
And even those original games will benefit from the power and performance of something like the X.
So when we play Crimson Skies again, it will have Xbox Live compatibility, so like if we'll be playing it online, it'll have achievements and things like that?
All those details will vary game by game, but I'll tell you the original disc will work. We will make it digitally available. Cross-link will work. All that kind of stuff will work. In fact, we had an original Xbox cross-linked with an Xbox One playing Crimson Skies head-to-head. So it's going to be fun. I mean, with many of these cases, some of these old games, we got the licensing and the rights we have to work through, but we're going to, so we're going to work through as much of that as we can. The older games have some more unique challenges finding IP owners, but there's a lot to work with, and we know fans have given us a good list to start with.
Well, and I like that you guys are building architecture that is going to help shape that going forward, and we need to start thinking about that, right? It can't just be Steam that you can load up your back catalog from whenever and it's all there for you. Yeah. That brings me to my next point.
Sure.
Why isn't this just a Windows 10 console? Why can't we just run all kinds of PC apps on Xbox One X? It's certainly powerful enough.
Well, the Xbox One X definitely is a Windows 10 console. I mean, it's powered by Windows. We do share store app ecosystem, so that's a great benefit. And that's the whole idea around something like Xbox Play Anywhere.
Yeah.
All of our first-party titles, we're bringing day and date to the PC. You buy them on either Xbox or Windows, you get to play them on both, sync your saves, pick up right where you left off. So whether it's State of Decay, Sea of Thieves, whatever game you're gonna play, Forza, you'll be able to play them on your PC and your console without having to buy it more than once.
What about going that little extra, update and allowing Steam to run on there, or you plug in your HTC Vive and you're able to, I mean, it's powerful enough, right? It's like a kick-ass gaming PC, this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities. I do think we think a lot about the customer experience. I mean, even with MR, VR, we think about keyboard and mouse, like cords and cables in the living room. There's a lot of things that I think make more sense to do right now on the PC. And so, MR is a great example of that. Keyboard and mouse is a great example of that. But you're right, we have the power and the capability, and we often think about those ideas.
Yeah.
And so I just say, we're thinking about the same kind of questions you're asking. We're always open to hear feedback. But at this time, the console serves a pretty unique function as an appliance that's plug and play, that you can connect to your TV, that just works. And so, but with the same end, we know a lot of gamers are multi-device gamers, and they want to be able to upgrade their PCs and have all that benefit too. So we're supporting both ecosystems.
It's cool. I feel like you've got a little Trojan horse kind of plan here, which I dig, which I think is cool.
Victor misses nothing.
So what happens now with this inevitable jump? Like, the console generation seems so screwy now to me. Like, I don't know what the hell's happening.
Yeah.
When do we get another Xbox? When do we get another play? Like, what happens now?
Well, you're hitting on it, right? I mean, how can we actually innovate with hardware without losing compatibility?
Yeah.
How can we say, listen, we want to bring all the benefits that PC gamers were getting that are spending on these high-end systems, and console gamers not miss out on the 4K generation.
Right.
So that's the whole intention behind X.
And charging what a graphics card costs.
$499 for, what this box has in it is an insane value.
Yeah.
So, we think people have seemed to be responding well to it. With that said, all the performance in the world, you got to have the games. And that was our focus too, was we had our longest briefing, we had the most games we've shown, we had tons of exclusives, and a really great variety and diversity of content from small creators to the biggest studios, like the team at BioWare and working with the folks on the Frostbite engine, to a team of like two people making a game, in Paris, so it's just fun. It's fun to be able to work with creators of all different types, and as a gamer, I love the diversity of those types of games.
When you throw in that Xbox One or original Xbox compatibility, it makes me go right back to those days. And selfishly, I want to see Xbox come back with lots of diverse investments in new games and new brands and new ideas. Like you guys did when you came charging out with all those things. Those are some of my favorite memories, playing some of those games that you guys had. And Crimson Skies is right there.
Yeah, no, totally agree. And I think one of the good things I can tell you is there's a guy named Phil Spencer who runs Xbox. He's been around since the beginning, just like you and I, has a lot of passion for that type of things. I mean, I think, take Rare as an example. We took a big AAA studio with a lot of IP, and instead of just going back into their vault, took them essentially offline to go make a whole new IP with Sea of Thieves. Let them go create what they want to make, create new, and you're right, that's important. And so we're definitely supporting that. And at the same time, we know that people buy Xbox because they want to play Halo and Gears and Forza and Crackdown, and we're bringing them those as well.
Awesome. Always a pleasure talking with you.
My pleasure.
We didn't talk about Lucky's Tale too, which I think is another great surprise. I love the game on Oculus, so I'm so happy that you're bringing that over there.
You'll find it's a much bigger game on the console. Really incredibly fun. The team at Playful are really masters at great fun platformer games, and we fall in love with Lucky, and we're excited. It'll be there on launch day on November 7th.
What was your first original Xbox love? What game just drove you nuts back then?
Absolutely Halo. Yeah, original. In fact,
I think you can find a Halo game on the Xbox One X.
Yes, we were playing backstage in rehearsal because we had to capture, if you saw that boot up, we actually had to capture, because we assume there's no marketing asset from 16 years ago that someone still has, so we were literally capturing off an original Xbox. So I was playing the original Halo backstage, and by the way, looks and plays great. So it was really fun, and of course Master Chief Collection's out if people want to get the whole thing, but it's fun. It brings back a lot of good memories for folks, and hopefully we can share more of that soon.
Okay, one more question. What are you going to say to people that are at a store they see the PS4 Pro and see the Xbox One sitting side by side.
Yeah.
PS4 Pro, I think, is a little bit less expensive right now. What drives them in the Xbox One X direction?
Well, I'd say if you want true 4K gaming, it does require 6 teraflops of power. We have 43% more graphical power. We have over 60% more memory we make available to developers. But the most important thing is whether you're a hockey fan, a racing fan, an RPG fan, whatever game you want to play, it's going to look and play better on Xbox One X because we bring significantly more power to the table.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it in person in my living room, man. Thank you very much, Aaron.